Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining us for the Safe Sister Circle's Circle Chats. I am your host, Dionne Dillard, and it is with my esteemed pleasure that I get the opportunity to interview Erica Alarizahi. Erica graduated from Howard University and works in healthcare administration. Erica believes that to become unafraid, you have to release your fears. Erica is living out her mantra every single day and is encouraged by her past experiences to share her story with us. While she does reside in Centerville, Virginia, Washington, D.C.'s Ward 7 and 8 areas are a part of Erica's heart as a previous resident and due to her determination to connect with Black women about domestic violence. Please, everyone, help me welcome Erica Alarizahi.
Thank you so much, Dionne. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited that, you are taking time out to speak with us, about being unafraid. And with the Safe Sister Circle's mission of, supporting Black women survivors and being a nonprofit organization that provides those free cultural, specific, holistic, and trauma-based services to Black women survivors, are you able to share more with us about your specific story?
My pleasure. So I am a teenage domestic violence survivor. I was in a relationship for a few years. And I grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I had a boyfriend who, I thought was the world to me. We were together for quite some time. And the first incident happened about 6 months into the relationship. I was upset that he was unavailable to hang out. One thing led to another. And we got into a physical altercation because he was going somewhere with his friends and I didn't want him to go. At that time, he pushed me, he grabbed me by my braids and dragged me out of his house, out of the front door. And I'll never forget a girlfriend who had actually introduced me to him told me, you really need to be careful. If he does this one time, he may do it again. And I remember that. And I thought, well, maybe it was just a fight, maybe he won't do it again. That's what he told me. He won't do it again. And then I would say about a year or so passed and nothing happened. Everything seemed okay. And then it started to become habitual.
So thank you for sharing that with us. I can only imagine what it was like to experience it once, but then to potentially be experiencing it continuously after that. Could you go into more details on what happened continuing
Sure.
with your relationship?
One in particular, we were talking in the living room and again, he was about to go somewhere. I didn't want him to go. We got into an argument about some friends. And he ended up pushing me. My glasses flew off my face. He called me out of my name, terrible words that I'd rather not repeat. And then we got into a scuffle. And before I knew it, I was on the ground in front of about 5 or 6 other people. And he began to kick me in my ribs, in my face, in my head. Sorry. And this was about 25 years ago. And I'm 42 and it still can be traumatizing. I'll never forget at that point, the people were looking down at me. No one actually came to my rescue. I think everybody was pretty much afraid of what he may do to them. There was definitely blood involved. I got a black eye. And after everything happened and I went home, of course, a few days later, he apologized and said that he was just upset and that, his parents were in a domestic violence situation, and that he had seen it with his own eyes with his father, and that he was sorry and that he would never do it again, although it happened before.
Wow. I mean, listening to everything that you have gone through, what was the defining moment that you knew it was time to leave?
Another particular time, which is when I actually decided I've had enough, and it was my final situation. I fully left. Um, we got into an argument in the house once again. I don't know where his parents were. He went outside to the backyard. I lost my temper and I locked him out of the house. He went and like broke one of the. I was washing dishes and he broke the kitchen window. He took his shoe and banged it because I wouldn't open the door. And then I unlocked the door and I said, "Look, I'm sorry." Like I was afraid. Um, and so I don't remember how we got to the backyard, but we were in the backyard and he just started punching me. Just, and he was punching me as if Mike Tyson were, or, or a boxer were in a fight. You jab, then you jump back, then you jab again, then you jump back. And he was circling around me as if we were in a boxing ring. And as he was hitting me, I just remember thinking, I'm not going to fall down. And I really think that was symbolic of that day, meaning I'm not going to fall down physically, but I'm not going to fall down emotionally or mentally. I'm going to move on. I'm not going to let you take me down. And as he was hitting me, he said, "It's a shame I have to hit you like a grown ass man." And I'll never forget that because I thought, number one, you shouldn't hit anyone. And number two, I'm not a man. I'm a woman. I have a future. I have a family. At that time, I thought, I wish I could have children one day. And as he was hitting me, I said, "I've had enough." And I could tell the look in his eye that for whatever reason, he knew that was it. And I walked away and he kept hitting me. And every time he would hit and argue, I just keep walking, keep walking. I walked to the side of the house, to the front of the house. And I remember there was a scuffle and he was dragging me back to the backyard. My assumption was so that not as many people could see. Because the backyard was um, faced towards a parkway, but those people were driving back and forth. But he lived in a cul-de-sac. So when I got to the side of the house and then to the front of the house, and he was trying to drag me back, I remember telling him, "I don't care what you do, I'm never coming back." And that's something that I was always unafraid to say. But at that point, I really made it up in my mind that if I don't take these steps to move forward, I'll never move forward. And I have to really realize, no matter how afraid I am, I it's actually stopping me from what I want in my future.
With this being the first time that you're actually publicly speaking about this, why did you decide to share your story now?
I think sometimes sharing a story, although sometimes I feel like we think, what will it do? My goal is to, even if it's just one woman to help encourage her, to me, that's enough. And I just really, the pandemic really stands out for me because in these situations, you can't really reach out to many people because of the situation we're in. And so that's why I wanted to sit with you and talk about it and to share my story to help others, and especially with women who may be in an even tighter situation now with wanting to leave and they feel like they can't because they have nowhere to go.
I am actually extremely inspired by that type of response, that in the time when everybody honestly is at need, regardless if it's from an employment standpoint or financial or family support, whatever it may be, to still be thinking about others and the potential situations that they could be going
Mhm.
through at this time, I think is very commendable. And to even piggyback off of that, there are definitely misconceptions out there. The Safe Sisters Circle is an organization that, again, provides these type of resources to help survivors of domestic violence. And knowing that 21% of Black women have actually been victims of domestic partner violence, are there other misconceptions that may be associated with domestic violence that you could share?
This happened to me when I was a teenager. And oftentimes people say, oh, well, she's just a child. She doesn't know what she's doing and things like that. I really think people need to watch their children, including young adults like 20, 21, things like that. Watch how they're interacting with their partner. Um, you know, Kids have emotion just like adults do too, but the ups and the downs, if you really connect with your child as much as possible, you could maybe intervene and see that something may be going on.
Um, you know, Again, your story is so inspirational. What have you found to be the motivation for you to continue pushing forward and to get you where you are now?
I had a child at 40. I'm 42 now. My son just turned 2 years old. And it's very important for me, based on my experience, to raise him not only to respect women, but to have compassion for women. And a lot of times that I find that missing within our community. Um, and I want him to just really know my story and to have that story to think about the choices he makes with women as he becomes older and decides to date. So he has healthy relationships. And so that's something that I think is a commitment to myself. And I want to continue that with my family.
I love that. First, happy birthday to your son.
Thank you.
Yes. And secondly, it just sounds like, as a survivor yourself, you definitely surrounded yourself with strong networking people, strong people that can support you from your family and your friends. So I absolutely adore that. And you're paying it forward with your own child, so
Yes.
that's awesome. With the sharing of your experiences and now as you have gotten older, is there anything that you would share with others that may be going through a similar experience?
Start to take small steps. So this isn't something where you should, say, you know what, I'm leaving tomorrow and that's it. Sometimes it takes small steps like finding a job, finding a part-time job, finding someone that you can lean on. Anything that kind of is in the realm of what you want to do, that's what you should do first. And then just keep chipping away at it until you're able to finally get the courage to leave. I definitely empathize with women who just can't get up and go. And that also comes from being afraid, but also from a lot of abuse, being told that you have nowhere to go or people won't believe you, or, if you go there, they're just going to take advantage of you anyway, or, I'll try and take your kids from you. All these things happen. So that's why I think it's important to have a plan and to just take one step at a time until you get enough courage to actually leave.
Wonderful pieces of advice. I could not agree with anything that you said more. I
Thank you.
totally agree with you. Yes. So, with the Safe Sisters Circle, what has been your relationship with the organization?
Being a Black woman um, is something that many people don't understand. And, being a victim of domestic violence is definitely something that people don't understand. And so to connect with other like-minded women in an effort to help is something that I applaud you all for, and I'm thankful to be here.
And we are grateful to
Mhm.
have you as well. So, as we kind of wrap up here, is there a way for individuals who may be interested to hearing more about your experience, your story, or even what you plan on doing going forward? How can you be reached?
So they can email me. It's Erica at ericashope.org. I have always wanted to find some way to connect with domestic violence survivors, and I'm working on that now. I don't have everything in place. Dionne, maybe you can help me. But I would love to reach out and connect with any woman who needs further assistance. Just talking about it, um, encouragement, even prayer. I'm here. I'm here. there's no way I would be where I am now without other women helping me. There's no way. And for that, I'm forever grateful, for my friends and family. And like how you said before, I just want to pay it forward.
Erica, I must say that I am extremely excited to see how a partnership with you and the Safe Sisters Circle organization progresses going forward. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to sit down, share your experience, be that vulnerable and open with us, especially utilizing us as the first platform to publicly speak about your experiences. And I cannot thank you enough. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Dionne. I really appreciate the time, and you're doing an awesome job. I look forward to working with you more. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you everyone who joined me and the Safe Sister Circle chats for this current session and speaking with another domestic violence survivor. We really do appreciate your continuous support. Please continue to donate and follow us on all of our social media platforms. So until next time, please continue to stay safe and we'll see you again soon.